a gunner seat?
Hey guys, we just got done seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That's right, Josh. Is this a worthy sequel to our childhood Ghostbusting heroes? Stick around, because we're about to find out.
All right, we're getting into Ghostbusters Afterlife, and we're going to be talking some spoilers because it's just practically impossible to avoid it completely. So,
yeah.
Billy, who's in this movie?
All right, man. We got our boy Ant-Man, Paul Rudd.
Love me some Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, anything he's in so far lately has been pretty good, man. I enjoy watching his movies. People people kind of crapped on, thought Ant-Man wasn't going to be good, and then I'd say they were wrong, man. I enjoyed both of them.
He's good in just about anything. I've never seen anything where I'm like, this is no good.
Not me either, man. I definitely enjoy some Paul Rudd. We got Mckenna Grace. I don't think I've seen her in too much stuff before, but I tell you what, man, she plays a young Spengler in this, right? And I think she does one hell of a job, kind of acting like an Egon, nerdy kind of scientist type character, man. I thought she did really good.
I enjoyed her.
I was really impressed with that kid. Then we got Finn Wolfhard, of course, was in Stranger Things, the main kid in Stranger Things. He's in this.
He's getting tall, it looks like.
Yeah,
he's growing from
he's growing, man, yeah.
Stranger Things.
Makes you wonder how the next season of Stranger Things is going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you got Carrie Coon. I don't think I've really seen her much. She plays the mom, and I wasn't too impressed with her role in this. But kids did good though. I thought the kids were good. And then of course, you got a couple other kids in this that did a good job. And basically, we got our own kid version of the Ghostbusters here, man.
And then you got some surprise cast members.
Oh yes, you do. There's a lot of good cameos in this, man. A lot of surprise cameos. I loved it. Got to see some Janine in there, man. That was kind of cool getting some Janine. And of course, if we're throwing spoilers out there, man, we get the whole damn Ghostbusting crew back in this baby.
Yeah, they are not in it too much, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But the part they were in it was perfect the way they did it, I thought, and it was and a great homage to Harold Ramis, I think, in this movie there towards the end, and
they did
just fantastic.
A solid to Harold Ramis,
yeah, they did.
I think,
fantastic.
Good to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Made me tear up a little bit.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. See old Harold there. I was like, oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool. I enjoyed that.
Well, and that's kind of like where the problems are with me in this movie. There is a lot of lip service being played.
Yeah, there's a lot of slow parts in this movie, a lot of talking and stuff, and not you're always one about action movies, and this one it's got some, but not as much as some people would hope, I would think, because really, and when you're thinking the original Ghostbusters, man, they were running around town, all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and this one, you kind of get that more towards the end a little bit, but not near as much as it was in the first one, and really they only bust one ghost throughout almost all this movie until you get to the end, right? So it's kind of, you don't really get that ghost busting action, that you were kind of hoping for. But with that being said, for what it was, man, it was a nice feel-good movie. I still enjoyed it.
If you want more ghost busting, you can watch the female version because there's all kinds of ghost busting. You didn't see that one, but I did. So if you want more of an action one, that might be the one for you. But I would tell you, that does not equate to a better movie.
No, it doesn't.
And that's what I do like about this one. This one goes back to the Ghostbusters roots. For instance, the female version, they have like crazy technology where they're splitting ghosts in half and like it looks like they're killing them with their weapons. These ghosts are already dead. You can't kill something that's already dead. So that's what I like about Ghostbusters. They don't try and kill ghosts or anything. They try to trap them. That's about the only thing you can do. And that's what I like about this. This stays true to the original movies in that, where the other one got just too crazy.
Yeah.
So
well, in this one too, I love how, they bring out all the original contraptions, right? The traps. The original freaking ray guns. You got the you got Ecto 1 in this thing, man.
Proton packs.
The proton packs. Yeah, you got it all, man. So they bring out all the original equipment in this, from the original movies, and it's just, man, for guys like us who grew up on that stuff, man, it just felt good seeing that. I thought, man,
I love cool seeing that stuff. And what's great about this is like you get now high definition.
Oh yeah, man.
And everything. They got so many details that you can see on this gear and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And the Ecto 1 and all that kind of stuff. Awesome. Good seeing all this stuff. And this thing really hits you with a lot of nostalgia. I think they go overboard with it because they got mold, spores, and fungus. They got Twinkies. They got Demodogs. They got slime. They got a guy that's like Slimer. So they're really borrowing a lot and leaning heavily off that original.
Call him Muncher in this one, right?
Yeah. But he's practically Slimer 2.0.
Right, but just where Slimer was eating food, this thing likes eating metal. So.
And they pretty much copy the entire premise of the first movie. Yeah. This is like a Force Awakens Ghostbuster type of scenario here, where they're leaning so much on the original that it's almost like a complete copy story. What do you think about that? Do you think that was smart for them to do that?
To an extent, the way they went about it, where Harold, Harold was kind of planning for it, and he knew that, he found out where this place is. He kind of discovered it. They haven't seen the end of Gozer yet, and that there's still an apocalyptic premise out there that he's going to come back or she is going to come back. And so the way they kind of went about it, I didn't think was too bad. It really didn't explain how those ghosts got away, right? I guess because they had them trapped originally, so I'm not sure how those, the ghost dog got out and kind of did what it did in the beginning, and then of course he ended up trapping it again. But I didn't have too much of a problem that they made it very close to the original one. Because of the fact that because there's a lot of funny quips in it, right? Like you get the little baby Stay Puffs, man. That was pretty.
And that didn't make sense to me either, because he's in a Walmart, Paul Rudd's character, and these marshmallow men guys start coming out of the pack, and I'm like, those aren't what's in the pack of marshmallows. They're just marshmallows. Why do they have handkerchiefs and a hat and all that stuff? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because they were ghosts, man. Little Stay Puff.
No, see, that's where the movie gets a little silly.
It was silly, but it was funny. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed that part of the movie.
I get what they're going for. I think they're going for, like, let's make these little cute miniature Stay Puff marshmallow men. And they are cute. And they have, like, a little bit of the Baby Yoda vibe going for me, where it seems like they're trying to sell toys to me, trying to sell plush toys to me more than anything.
Right, exactly.
I mean, these things are like little gremlins,
that's kind of what I thought,
tearing apart the machines.
I was thinking Gremlins when I saw these things originally. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
I'm like, why are they even doing in there to begin with? Yeah. But they're in there tearing apart stuff and
they're cool,
causing chaos. I mean, they're cute. They serve their purpose, but they don't really. It doesn't really make much sense why they're there, or even like coming out of the package like that, and they're doing like crazy things, setting each other on fire or whatever they're doing.
Well, that was awesome.
It's a fun scene. It is a fun scene.
They're making s'mores out of each other.
I don't know if it made sense, but I enjoyed it. I'll admit, but I don't know if it should have been there.
But and the thing I didn't get, right, because we all know from the original, you got to have the key holder and the gatekeeper together to bring Gozer, right?
Keymaster and Gatekeeper.
Thanks. Keymaster. But, in the beginning, it shows that Harold Ramis captured one of them, right? And put, and hid the trap, put it away. But then in the movie, he leads his granddaughter to the trap and she pulls it back out. So at that point, it's like, why would you lead your granddaughter to the trap and let her pull it back out if there's no way Gozer can come back without both of them? So as long as that thing's stuck underneath that freaking house, no harm, no foul, right? Gozer try to come back all she wants, but she ain't coming back because she's missing one of her, two-part animals there. So I didn't quite understand why he led her to that trap and let her pull it out. I guess because he just wanted a finality to Gozer and wanted to, kind of an end to it completely. But at the same time, it was like, I don't know, man.
Well, maybe the other one would have been on the loose and released that one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
They don't really get too much into that. They don't get why Gozer is coming back and doing all this. Like, I mean, they throw dates out and like, this is the predetermined date that evil will rise again. And just believe us. Just believe us here. So
in this small town out in the middle of nowhere.
What did you think about the setting? Because the first Ghostbusters are in New York City, so big city, and this is small town. What do you think about going from the big city to the small town?
I mean, I thought it had an okay vibe too. Kind of like a little feel good small town vibe. But I just didn't understand how it got there. They don't really explain that. Like, Harold Ramis moved there evidently because he knew something was going to happen in this small town, but it never explains what made that small town special. Well, I guess it kind of does because the founder of the town was, they explained to the founder of the town that they created all the mines and stuff, actually used some of that metal to make some of the skyscrapers in New York where all that stuff happened. So they kind of lead you to believe that he had something to do with some of it. And they kind of show you a little bit of that in the end, but they don't explain it much, right? There's not much explanation to kind of how that worked out and how, this guy that created this town kind of knew that he was going to be able to do this kind of thing here. So I was a little off with that. I was like, wow, and then of course the cameo there. And should we give that one away, man? Little cameo on who the founder was.
Sure.
Yeah, why not, man? A little J.K. Simmons action, but he's only in the movie for like 2 seconds.
I mean, I just don't. even get the point of that character.
Yeah, I didn't either. Exactly.
It's like they just threw him in there to throw him in there.
And like I said, I think they did that to try to kind of explain why this is going on, but they didn't go into enough explanation to let you know why this is going on here, you know? So that kind of, for me, it just kind of fell flat.
Gozer did not seem to appreciate that. So.
Yeah. No, Gozer did not. No, Gozer did not.
So, yeah, I thought that was a little odd. I kind of wish they would did original story, even though part of me likes it because of the homage, and I do like the ending, how it's kind of like a love letter to Harold Ramis's character, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. But it's just too similar to the original. It doesn't really expound on it too much, so I'm just like, I
mean, I'm thinking what they're trying to do there is for that nostalgia purpose, right? For you and I and all of us who grew up on it, you know, just trying to bring back the old school Ghostbusters stuff, kind of give us that nostalgia, but also drag our kids into it too and get them interested in it, right? So now you got kind of the whole family interested in Ghostbusters. And then if your kids haven't seen the old ones, you can be like, oh crap, well, these characters in this old one here, let's sit down as a family and watch these old, you know, Ghostbuster movies, you know?
It's just too much though, like symmetrical book stacking for no reason or anything like that. They even use like the chair scene kind of like that's similar and it's just... I wish they would have done something a little different.
If they'd added a little more, yeah, okay. But, I mean, for what it was, I thought it was good. I mean, again, I thought there were some slow parts in there, but I enjoyed it, man. It was a good movie.
You know, what else is kind of interesting, I'll get into like some of the flaws that I just happened to notice, is like they have the fireman's pole. They show this scene a lot, right? Well, they show people getting down to the secret area in the fire. But how the heck do you get back up?
I know
Not everyone can climb a pole. And there's a lot of furniture and stuff in there. And they never show them going upstairs like around the corner.
Well, and how the hell did he get all that furniture and stuff down there? Because he ain't getting it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it looks cool. Like, the fireman. But what are the logistics to this thing?
Yeah, they never show you that.
They also, like, the kid Trevor in this one is like, he drives the car and stuff. He pretends he's like 17. Come to find out he's 15. But his sister says he failed his driver's test three times. And is that usual these days that kids take?
Yeah, you can take him at 15. I know my daughter took him at 15, and I think my son's taking some.
I don't think here you can even get him till you're over 16.
Well, you are talking about Oklahoma here, right? So this is Oklahoma.
Yeah, but this was before they were in Oklahoma.
No, I guess that's true, but did it even tell us where they were?
I don't know. It didn't seem to jive with me when they're like, he's failed. And like, he's not even like an old 15. He's like 15 and a half or something like that. You know what I mean?
He's like,
so he probably took it right at 15.
He's like, I'll be 16 in February. And she's like, it's June.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so, I don't know.
Started 15 4 months ago, yeah. So now you're right about that.
They also need to break into the jail to get their stuff out. And like, for one, there's no one in this jail. Like, not that I saw. Like, no one's guarding it. They all just left. And I get stuff's going on in the town, and cops would be out, but there would always be someone left at the station to monitor comms and to have anyone come in and file a complaint or whatever. You wouldn't just have it be completely. And anyways, their gear is locked behind like a jail cell, right? In the evidence room, I suppose. Yep. Well, they have to free like Slimer 2.0 to eat through the bars, right? Well, he's a ghost, and you showed him earlier fly through buildings. So why exactly does the bars prevent him from doing what he needs to do?
So I think the way they're trying to play that out, the bars don't prevent him from doing what he's supposed to do, but he loves eating metal. That's what he eats. The cage was metal, so the kid was just hoping, hey, he's in a metal cage. Hopefully he's going to eat this cage for us, and of course he did. Yeah. So
well, that's the reason I suspected, but he seems to be in a hurry to get out there, and he's just like, I don't know. It seemed a little odd to me. Seemed a little odd to me.
All right, man. Can't tear it all up, man. I know that part was fine.
There's a remote control car that's like the latest tech that we see. And this thing is outrunning cars. They never charge it.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
It has like, this kid must be the best remote control
driver on the planet.
Yeah, on the world. And this car is like seeming to defy physics in many instances as well.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of crazy, dude. That was some crazy scenes in the remote control car.
I mean, he's in the car. How could he even have like a clear view of what this car's doing?
He can't, right. No.
And this car's skipping around. It's not like tumbling over or anything like that. It just keeps up.
Not only does it keep up, but sometimes it's ahead of the car. So
yeah. So that's kind of like my nitpicking complaints, but otherwise,
it was fun.
I thought it was a pretty fun movie.
Yeah, man, it was a fun movie. I mean, even those nitpicky parts were fun. They were still fun to watch. It was cool to watch the chase scene of when they're chasing the ghost through the town. Even though that little remote control car is hauling ass and is way ahead of them, it's still fun to watch it all. So.
I think they got off a little easy for the amount of damage that was caused.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So you really have to suspend. I know we're talking about ghosts here, so of course you got to suspend belief, but it's a little out there for me.
Yeah, no, I was. But made for a good chase scene and good movie, you know.
What do you think about these kids? Picking up the mantle from the OG, who are older men, so they're going way young with this group.
Oh yeah,
what do you think of that?
They're going from mid-30s guys to young kids, right?
And I guess there's 2 girls and 2 guys, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, no, originally it just starts out with the daughter is really the one that's kind of Egon's granddaughter, who does a great job, like I said, playing like an Egon type character, just this nerdy weirdo, and. But, really it just starts out with her, right? At first it's just her, and then she gets her little buddy in it, and it's just them 2, and then eventually they bring in her brother and then the other kid, right? So, but for the most part, they did a good job, man. I loved her character, dude. I loved McKenna Grace's character in this. I thought she did a great job. Out of all the kids, she was my favorite. And, but I thought, Finn did a good job, too. And then even the other 2, I mean, the goofy, kid that was her buddy, what do you call himself?
Podcast?
Yeah, podcast, yeah. I mean, he was kind of annoying sometimes, but he was still pretty funny, and I liked towards the end, another throwback scene, what happened to him that happened to one of the other Ghostbusters in the beginning when they walk out with freaking goo all over him from the damn Stay Puft. So I mean the kids did good. I thought all the kids did a good job, and I didn't have an issue with any of the acting from those kids.
New York in the 80s, it's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom.
Kind of surprised all the kids aren't hip to what happened in 1984.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's kind of a big event where ghosts were walking through Manhattan.
And tried to destroy the world.
And they're like, that was 20 years before I was born. Oh, we never heard of World War II or any of this other kind of stuff that happened before you were born?
Right, or Rome or...
Pearl Harbor, none of this stuff. I'm pretty sure that's kind of that might even surpass that because this is really unusual.
And why would they not be teaching that in history class?
So there's a lot to nitpick.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And obviously with this kind of movie, you give it a pass. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is this movie fun or not?
Exactly. And that's what it all boils down to. Was it a fun movie? Was it a good, heartfelt kind of a throwback to the original Ghostbusters? Did they do a good job, making another sequel, yet keeping with the originality, And they did, man. I thought they did. I thought they did a fantastic job with it.
This movie did a way better job than the female versions, and I thought it was a natural progression, and there's a lot to like in this. I found myself getting a little bored early on just because they were really setting up the story and not much was going on, and it got better. And then near the end, they throw a lot of effects and CGI where I thought that was maybe a little too much going on at the end there. But I did like the way it wrapped up.
Yeah,
so that brought me back, and at the end of the day, I think it's a fun movie. If you were to ask me, does it live up to the original? I would say no, not even close in my mind. The original is like a 10 for me. This is not that.
Well, no, dude.
The jokes aren't as funny. It's just not as good as the original, but
I don't think
it is
good.
But
I don't think anything's ever going to be as good as the original, But for what they did with it and just keeping with the originality and the fact that they brought in the original Ghostbusters and just the tribute to Harold Ramis, was heartfelt. And they stuck with the original Ghostbusters vibe in it, and even the crossing the streams and everything, right? So I mean, they stuck with the original vibe, and yeah, of course, nothing is ever going to be as good as the original Ghostbusters. There's not going to be one that's that good. But for what they did with this movie, I think they did a good job.
This one leans so heavily on the first, and that I really am interested to see where they would take it next when they come up with original ideas that don't harp back to another movie, and that's what I'm interested in. And I don't know if these kids though can pull that off. I think some can. The girl definitely can,
right?
But I don't know if some of the other kids can.
Yeah, well, remember they took Ecto-1 back to the firehouse at the end, right? So Ecto-1 is back in New York now, I guess, right? So
yeah, well, they might be back
with Harold Ramis.
I don't know, but these kids are really young to be doing this second one.
What was his name? The guy that played
Winston.
Winston, yeah, I'm trying to think of his name, Ernie.
Yeah,
but
Ernie Hudson, yeah.
So
I'm interested to see
who knows the kids are even going to be in
and
this
I did
one.
like this movie. If I were to give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, I'd give it a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
So what do you rate this number-wise, though?
I'm going to give it a good strong 7, man. A good solid 7. Probably. I mean, just because I enjoyed the throwback so much, I'd get close to an 8 with this one, just because I didn't enjoy it that much. But I'm trying to stay on in reality here. I mean, it was very heartfelt, especially at the end, man. So super heartfelt, and that is was tugging at the heartstrings. Mm-hmm. But it was a fun movie. And it was definitely a good strong 7 for me.
I'm with you. I was originally thinking maybe 8, but I was just like, it borrows too much from the original, and I cannot give it that 8 just because it leans so much. So I'm going to bump it down for that. A 7, but it is a fun movie. Oh, yeah. If you like Ghostbusters, you should definitely see it. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all.
So it's a good movie. It's worth seeing. You know, Jason Reitman did a pretty good job directing this,
Yeah,
and he's
that'd
the
be great.
son of Ivan Reitman, so that's cool that they even have that connection going on there.
Yeah, exactly. That was awesome. You know, so I mean, you see, again, you got a lot of throwback stuff in this, right? I mean, from the directing all the way to the
and
acting,
they tried to
so.
do it right and stay faithful to the original, and I think they've done that.
Oh, they absolutely did. No doubt about it, man. You know, so hey, guys, that's it for Ghostbusters. We enjoyed it. Think you will too. So definitely check that movie out. And hey, if you like us, press like and subscribe, and we'll check you in our next review.
Yeah, and if you've seen it, and let us know what your thoughts are. I have a feeling
absolutely.
some people won't like it just because they do too much with it.
Yeah,
as far as the callbacks, but
yeah, we had a lot of good conversation on Dune with people, man. It was great discussing with some of you guys what you thought about Dune and kind of the back and forth banter that we had with some of y'all. So yeah, we'd love to have that on this movie as well, especially since this is kind of an homage to the original, kind of as Dune. You know, a lot of people were trying to compare Dune to the original Dune. So yeah, please let us know what you think. And hey, guys, we'll check y'all later.
All right, see you guys. The music's good. They use it from the original.
A lot of original music in this, guys. It was freaking fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen that mom in anything. You notice it?
No. I didn't care for her either. Some people are like, oh, she does a good job. Like, she's nothing special. She's no Sigourney Weaver.
Dude, she was born after I done born.
Like that? You gotta pull up that mic, man. You gotta get in the zone.
Yeah.
You blew it, man. You had to get out of there.
You got up Friday, man.
Bladder couldn't handle it.
Come on, Bill. I was saying you get up Friday.
Unbelievable.
I was sitting there chilling, man. Sitting there chilling. We missed some Sigourney Weaver. Are they still busting ghosts
You
after
never
they
saw the female version.
Yeah, no, I did not.
You should have watched that in prep.
There's nothing to that one.
You might like that one more.
Doubt it.
Yeah. Well, they have to pay homage to this, then they'll pay homage to that.
Yeah, I don't know. That one doesn't exist in this universe, or mine, for that matter. That one doesn't exist in my Ghostbusters universe.
Hey guys, what's going on? We just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Mm-hmm. What the hell am I going to say, man?
Does it stack up to the original? Pay attention to the mind of Billy. Watch him work, ladies and gentlemen. Watch him work. He's good. Boom, he's good. Sequel or trilogy now? How's that work?
A sequel is, it's still called a sequel, even if it's trilogy or quadruple. It's still the next one is called a sequel. As in sequence. You get sequence movies. Each sequence is a sequel of the original.
Yeah,
That's science.
Maybe.
Or math or something. Hell, I don't know what that is.
Maybe.
Bustin' makes me feel good. Yeah.